And hello there. Welcome to either what is the continuation of you watching a very long video over the course of dinner or lunch or something like that, or a shift, which, get back to work, or more likely, hello there to Draft C. Welcome to power your power rankings video. I believe Electric called it like a year ago, and that's what we're going with now. My name is Tetris. I am your benevolent dictator, and this is Confused, your nightmare fuel-inducing, once undefeated pro player. Hello.
That's a very generous description, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Budding. Turn on streamer mode, please.
Wait,
That's
what?
fine. Did you not get like a budding? If you didn't, then it's fine.
No, I didn't hear
It might be on
anything.
my end. Oh, it was on my end. Sorry, I'm bad. Anyway, okay, so Draft C. As you can see in front of you, we have a tier list maker with all of your Discord icons, as well as who was online and who wasn't, just for fun of it. With S, A, B, C, and D. Confused and I will be going through your drafts and ranking them in these letters. We might try, might is the key word, to then rank you within the drafts, like left to right. There's no promises about that, though. In the description, at like the top of the description, will be like some cutoffs that we used to define what each tier was. I will just read them out now to you, though, just so you know. The S tier will have 1 to 2 drafts maximum. It'll be for teams which are like almost perfect. We know that perfect doesn't exist, so almost perfect. A tier is, again, the first sentence is this draft is near perfect, but it has one, two, or three holes or specific bad matchups which might make it hard. B tier drafts are slightly above average, and C tier drafts are slightly worse than average, and D tier drafts the same as S tier, of there's only going to be 1 or 2 maximum allowed in D tier. And we've said D tier drafts are allowed to have 1 or 2 or 3 really good mons, as long as the rest of the team doesn't like fit within that. We've said like some check marks for D tier teams would be like several mons repeating the same job, several jobs left unanswered, like lots of stuff which just makes absolutely zero sense. In our opinion, that last sentence there is very important. This is only our opinions. Do not be upset. This is in no way, shape, or form personal towards anyone. And also, this is only looking at your drafts. It has nothing to do with you as a player. It is as the 10 wolf clicks are piloting your teams. If we wanted to do predictions on the actual way that Draft C is going to finish, I don't think I could, because holy hell.
Yeah, this draft is actually insane, for the players in it at least. Worth noting, we have not gone over the teams in depth before this, which means we're probably going to be moving stuff around a lot in the middle of it. Like, we might say on the very first team, oh, this looks A or B tier or C tier, and then the longer we go in, the team might be better or worse than we thought, and we might move it around. And that's just the nature of us doing an in-depth analysis and convincing the other of if it's good or not.
Now, I said in the other group chat that we have 5 minutes maximum per each one. So I'm just going to set not a timer, but a stopwatch. And if we get to the 5-minute mark and we're nowhere near the end of a conversation, I will let us know.
My man, you are doing this with me. I will take it to 5 minutes alone.
Oh, I'm sure. You know what the fun one is? Just before we begin, that in terms of finals, Confused, just go back to like the profile pictures, just to like, because I know who they all are.
Sure.
Only 4 of those people top cut.
That's actually
so
crazy.
Funny.
That's actually
That's
crazy.
so funny.
Because, like, I do not
like,
see a weak player in the pod. Like, this pod is insane.
Like, you've got, what? From what I've heard, the second best player in all of juniors, or seniors, sorry, in all of seniors OCE in Flare Blitz You've got number 1 previous seed in Scuba, Kistal, who almost took it in Draft A last season. And you've got Ted and Viet Jesus, Cooper Hawk 10, previous champion, Steph, previous champion, Stacks, previous champion, KD is there, and then Kid's there, just, oh my, that poor man.
Yeah, Viet Jesus and being in the absolutely cracked pods is great every time. That's the fun part, because I know he, like, just joined first last season, and he's a fun guy to play with, but it's still funny. Because this pod, insane. So...
Alright, we can move into... Do you want to move into first person?
Yep, I've got all of the teams right here. We're just going to go in order, starting from the first pick in the draft, and I'm just going to copy-paste them into here, where we can see the moves and the type weaknesses. And you want to start it? Kistal first.
Alright, Kistal, it is. Look, it's Chiyu Flutter, and then there's Beat Up Terrakion as well. There's the Sacred Fungus, Landorus, Weirdeer, Milotic. Torkoal is the one thing I don't really get, but I understand that it's like to boost Chiyu and Flutter main, but like the only single thing I thought could have been done better is that's an S tier pick. Like, that could have just been like, does Grimmsnarl get Sunny Day?
No, Grimmsnarl does not get Weathers, because I love that mon crazily, and it does not get Weathers.
In which case, I was gonna say, like, it could just be like a prankster mon that just gets Weather. Like, and like, it still could have been, like, it could have been like, Meowstick to set Weather on Fluttermane or Chiyu. And then you free up a slot to take something better in S. But other than that, I don't have any distastes for this team whatsoever. In fact, I really like it. I'm looking more so at A, if we had to go for a letter, but...
Alright. I've got hot takes here then, because I am not as crazy about this team as you, mostly because I want a form of speed control that's not booster energy Flutter. And Weirdeer is great for Intimidate, and Melodic is great for competitive, but I don't think the Melodic is getting much use when the mons you're trying to intimidate are Lando and Terrakion. With just those two, I feel like the competitive for Melodic is getting less value. And there's no Tailwind to set up a Specs Flutter and Sash Chiyu to just go crazy. And that, I think, is my biggest problem.
Your fastest is Altaria, who's 80.
Right. So...
Yeah.
This team kind of, I feel like it wants to open with, like, some bulkier mode up front and then bring in a sweeper thread in the back. Or it's going to open with Flutter Chiyu and Disrespect it anyway, but it might be like a booster Icy Wind Flutter, for example. And that's crazy strong. Like, don't get me wrong. But it's not...
Not even like booster Icy Wind, it could just be booster Speed and Scarf Chiyu.
Yeah.
Like, because then you have a Scarf on both mons, and
but then they're both hitting not as hard.
Yeah.
He's got Fungus for the mascot, which I absolutely loved. Because, I love mascots. Gotta draft mascots. I actually like the Torkoal a lot. I think Torkoal gets a lot of value outside of Trick Room, and he still has Weirdeer Trick Room pretty easily with Torkoal sweeping.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm a big fan of the Torkoal. I actually think his A tiers are absolutely insane and disgusting that he was allowed to get them.
Oh, yeah.
I just wish that, like, he had some fast, like, even like a Noivern or something, right? Like, it doesn't have to be priority, but, like, some way to have Tailwind with Flutter Chiyu, or some way... Like, because the Trick Room mode is Eruption. And Melodic, I'm not crazy for. I know it's C tier now, but... Actually, C tier Melodic is probably the best argument for it. I say low A, high B.
Yeah, that is exactly where I would have put it.
Because Melodic might be one of the better C tiers.
You said it. And I'm like, yeah, something like Noivern on this team makes it just instantly better. Like, but I don't think I have much arguments other than that. My only other argument was going to be that you have three, and this is just such a small little thing. You have three flying types, yet none of them want to in any given situation. Like none of it, like if you have if you have an opponent who's super weak to flying, you still have to run Terra Flying Terra Blast. Like you somehow still didn't manage to pick up Brave Bird or a good special attack stat on like anything else to like I'm not using Air Slash with base 70 special attack.
I mean, that's just a flying type syndrome thing. Like, flying types all over the place. Flying type stab moves are just hilarious. The water weak is real. You have melodic. It's kind of weak. I actually think the ground weak is more annoying than anything, because your immunities to the ground are Altaria and Skarmory, so it's basically Landorus. Which, don't get me wrong, Landorus is probably one of the best in the game. But yeah, type chart's fine. Nothing's crazy about the type chart. I'm sticking with what I said. The difference is between A and B in my mind right now is I don't know what the rest of the draft looks like in depth. And a lot of what we're going off of is in
let's put it in A currently, but like I said, we might be moving this down to like a high B.
Okay, I'm good.
And that was pretty perfectly that was 5.5 minutes, so we are perfectly on track, which is nice.
Perfect. Because
all right, next one up is Scuba. Yes.
Yes. So Scuba right here. I'm just going to do this the nice and fast way. And there we go. Done. So I'll start with this.
It's done.
And I'll start with saying that I drafted Gouging Fire myself, and that mon's going to be a lot of fun. And the Gouging Fire, King Gambit, Azumarill, Superior Core just sounds really fun to play. That being said, after looking at this at a glance, I guess good Tailwind modes, or like all of your speed control is reliant on Articuno. Like all of it. You don't even have Icy Wind as an option, and your Thunder Wave is coming from King Gambit. Like, I guess Electrode counts, and I think Electrode has Electro Web now, right?
It does get E-Webs.
Okay,
no, it does.
No, that's good then. But I think this team does have conflicting Mon syndrome. I don't get why you have Magneton, unless you were like looking for a special Trick Room sweeper. But that's like my only thought about it. Azumarill and King Gambit are both insane for bulky offense or Trick Room sweepers, but they kind of... I don't like when people overcommit to Trick Room, because they have too many physical attackers or too many special attackers. Like, I like having one of each as an option, and then, like, not really going further than that into Trick Room stacking. Just, I don't like hard Trick Room teams in general. Which there's some natural bias here. I will naturally bias towards bulky offense, and when I say that, I look at this team and I go, I love some of these Mons for bulky offense. But then... there's other things that I don't like. I actually really like him on top. I don't care for the Furret. I think Articuno has too many rolls put on it. I think the Fire Water Grass is really good, but I don't like Azu and King Gambit on the same team. Because I think they want the same type of roll. Admittedly, they're very different types, but it's the same, like, core role that it functions on the team.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna be a little bit less nice. I don't particularly like much of it. Gouging Fire is I know that it can be used as an attack booster like Dragon Claw, Heat Crash, and it does tons of damage. But we are seeing it mainly used as its Breaking Swipe, its Snarl, and then like it does have you put Heat Crash on those sets anyway. But it's like Gouging Fire mostly supporting. Hitmontop mostly supporting. Superior needs setup. The Articuno, like you said, has too many jobs put on it. I don't get like really what Lando Incarnate's doing here. Like Lando Incarnate is in the speed stat. Oh, she's 101. Never mind. I thought it was 91. That's just my fault. I'll stop that statement. I agree with you on the Azumarill and King Gambit's weird. I'm just also super against the Magneton. It's like I used it and I'm like, okay, so it's either you use it for like a Scarf set and you use it to blast people with like Thunderbolts or with like Flash Cannons. But if that's the case, then just use like electrode, because like it does get some meaningful like damage output. Like you put specs on it and get more speed and more damage output. I I look a lot more as well. Like I said, I am more biased towards like combination teams and a little bit towards hyper offense teams. I don't see like the glue here. Like I just see a whole bunch of stuff but put together. Like it's good stuff, but it's just a whole bunch of stuff put together.
See, I don't want to be too aggressive on D tier mons because they're D tier for a reason, but also there's some really good mons in D tier, so I have very different opinions about it. Like Braviary Hisui, for example, is D tier, and I know that has very conflicting with Articuno, so I'm not saying he should have drafted it, but I mean there are good D tiers.
Yeah.
What do you think of
I'm
Furret?
leaning towards with Furret. It's C tier. Yeah. I like. Because
Like
it's
on
what,
this team specifically.
Oh, what's it sitting next to, with the exception of Superior to like protect it for a little bit while it sets up Leaf Storms?
I mean, you can belly drum with Azu immediately.
Yeah, with Azu.
You also
Yeah.
have Venomoth for
Belly Beach.
Venomoth for a random quiver
Rage
dance week.
Powder. Oh yeah.
Or you can just lead it
Yeah.
with Lando and get some damage out immediately, and then have like Gouging
This is
Fire
true.
King Gambit in the back.
It also gets Frisk. It's not a bad. Yeah.
I'm willing to say low C because I don't think it's as strong as Kistarl.
No, God, no. It's
But I love the
it's,
Fire
yeah,
Water
it's,
Grass, and that's like really what's holding it up. Even if I don't like
it's
Gouging
low
King Gambit.
C or it's D tier. That's the thing.
Okay.
Um,
I'm not willing to fight
well,
for
again-
D.
Okay, we're gonna. I really don't like it. Put it in D tier.
All right.
And then again, like I said, we will double check all these.
I
At the
want
end.
to have more faith in Gouging Fire, like, because I drafted it, so I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
believe in it.
Yeah, I need to have more faith in Gouging Fire. I was told to snipe it off of you and chose not to, partially because it's you, and also partially because I'm like, I don't think I could use it.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't. I'm very glad you didn't. How was that on time? Do we have more talk or less talk?
That was just less than 6 minutes. So again, we're on the mark. It's
same.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay, it is. It's via Jesus. Something about this team just speaks to me offensively. Like I look at it and like, okay, confused. Close your eyes. Don't look at the type shot. Ignore it.
Oh, dude, this is where we have differing opinions because you are sitting here and your
Trust me.
combo hyper offense brain is looking at this and going, "I love it. Look at all these combos. Look at all this offense." And I'm sitting here and I'm going, "Look at the lack of switch-ins to Shadow Ball. Look at the lack of Rock Slide defenses. Look at the lack of the back half of this entire chart."
Don't get me wrong. This is also low C tier, might be D. I'm just starting with, if you don't look at the type chart, you look at everything else, this team's insane. It's got like all those mons are really good, and like look at the average stats, dude. His average HP stat is 103, and yes, it's helped by Reggie Drago, but shush, right? Like, like I'm like, oh man, but yeah, like so, like you look at that and you go, okay, that's kind of wild, and then you, like you said, you just look at how does he deal with Rock Slide. He has Wide Guard on Golem Alolan, and that's it. How do you deal with Shadow Ball? You know, I look at this team, and Haxorus would be laughing at you. Because I just set up a Dragon Dance, and like,
Haxorus doesn't
I just
laugh at
give
anything.
it laughs at this team, because I set up one Dragon Dance, I give it Dragon Claw and Iron Head, and it one-shots everything. Like, he has one resistance to dark, which is like, again, there's not many, like, yeah. And it's like, I also then look at like the types which are missing, and I just ask myself, okay, are they types which you want to use often? And it's like, offensively, I find myself frequently looking for fighting and ground moves, as well as sometimes Steel Dark moves, of which there is neither.
Right. So I
Um,
know what you're
in
looking.
terms of there's one more as well, just one more comment. I don't know what Salamence is doing here at all. Um, like it makes beyond zero sense to me. I'm like, if you want to lower someone's attack stats, you run Charm on Ninetales, or you run like Burns for Sinistra. You have the Dragon moves, you have the Flying moves. Like Salamence should be something else. Like Salamence should be Great Tusk, and then something was slightly different.
Well, Salamence for Great Tusk would actually go crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I know you're looking. You're like, so Titan Ninetales Alola is like one of my favorite parts. Iron Boulder is just an awesome mon. Tornadus is insane with doing like Tornadus Charizard is a lot of fun pressure. I like Sinistra as a mon. I don't like these mons together. I don't see the defensive backbone as the problem.
There is no defensive backbone. That's the thing.
And
It's not there.
I know. It's a hyper offensive team, but just like you are naturally biased towards hyper offense, I am naturally biased towards bulky offense slash like defensive pivots, and you might have the wombo combos.
No, see, like I'm naturally biased towards hyper offense, which has defensive. Like my hyper offense has like Primarina, which has like no weaknesses whatsoever. Pikachu's hyper offense is amazing. It does all those things because it has Gothorita, it has Orthworm, just for example. I know that people have seen Draft B's one already, but like it is missing.
Do you like
the
this
the
team
thing
more than
which
Scuba's?
makes hyper more than Scuba's. Was it the second one we looked at?
Yes.
Equally out of 10, but like their scores out of 10 are in very different areas.
Okay, because I feel like you're lowering his team on my behalf because I'm here. Because I
No. In honesty, if anything, I don't like if we had to put like out of 10, I'd put like this is just like theoretical. I would give if I gave Scuba like a 5, I would give this team like a 4.9. Like it's so slightly worse. Because I think
Okay.
it's like if Viet Jesus can like impose his will and do what he wants to every game, he'll be fine. But this team has no backup plan for when that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't think he's got in my bulky offense brain the ways to survive some of this setup that he wants to do. Because a lot of his combos do need this setup. Like he's gonna win a week by clicking Belly Drum next to Sinistra, or he's gonna win a week by getting Charizard in under Sun.
I still don't know what Zeb Striker was doing on this team, by the way. I have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know what Zeb Striker does in general, so I'm just going to ignore it. It's 116 speed with, like, honestly not terrible stats for a D tier. I cannot tell you, other than as a Lightning Rod mon, what its purpose is. So maybe there's some, like, Lightning Rod Basket Legion stuff happening, or Zebstrika Golem as, like, a wombo combo.
We have hit the 6-minute mark. We need to put this in,
Okay.
Is it C tier or D tier?
I think it's worse than Scuba.
Oh, it's D tier. If it's less than Scuba, yeah, it has to be.
So
Scuba goes C, and then this goes D. Yeah, that's
depending
what I was
on how
about to
many
say to
people we have in C versus D.
No. Leave Scuba in C. Put him up. Put him up now.
Okay.
Put Scuba up. Yeah. That's the way I like this.
Okay. Sorry, Via Cheeseos,
right.
You're gonna own.
Ted.
All right, on it. Oh. Didn't have the Ted in it.
Oh, he can't even copy paste, right, guys?
I can't even copy paste,
I'm
guys.
surrounded by
Ooh,
foot amateurs.
All
right,
chart.
you go.
Look at that type chart, man. All right.
I'm also I will just start with 3 words or 4 words. I really like this team. I'm just gonna tell you now, just so you know, and you can go.
This is the weirdest Rain team I have ever seen because I can't find the offensive pressure that you would expect with Rain, except for like Metagross and Raichu. like Metagross because it loses its defensive typing weaknesses, and Raichu because of Lightning Rod. But the Lightning Rod isn't protecting anything, so I don't get the Politoed. Unless it is sitting here as a...
I understand.
There's no trapping Monda for the Perish Song mode, so is your Politoed anti-weather? But you have Whimsicott for that. So I don't get the Politoed.
That's what I was about to say.
And then your Politoed is your only...
really be here.
Your Politoed is your only water type, which water is a really good type. Your offensive Chien Pow Pressure is with Metagross, which is really nice. Flygon's a solid D tier mon just for Tailwind, and other stuff that it does, but you don't need Tailwind. You have Whimsicott for that. Gonna do it better. I know you love Enamorus. I've never been crazy for it.
No, I wasn't crazy for it until it put my team on its back over and over again. I'm like, at some point you just have to stop arguing the results. You keep talking. I'm just gonna check something, and I'm gonna ask you to do something for fun.
Okay.
But yeah, just keep going.
I think Enamorus is a very weak A tier. I wouldn't be caught dead drafting it. And a lot of that's
it's an
because
A tier. What?
Yeah.
Oh, it should not be.
Yeah, that's on you. Metagross, Chien Pow as your main offensive lead. I know Stax went absolutely crazy with Metagross in the Global Challenge, and the Mon is just gonna be good in a draft format. So Metagross, Chien Pow is kind of sick. Okidoki's really fun, but I'm not seeing the crazy defensive. Okay, I know I'm looking at the type chart right now. It's beautiful. He has no clear weaknesses.
I see it. I understand.
But while I see no clear weaknesses, I don't see any super defining strengths either.
If you just theoretically for me, right? We'll hit Control Z afterwards. But can you change Politoed to Blastoise for me?
Why? You just want to see these buttons light up?
No, just to look at the team now. Look how much better it looks. This is the point I'm making.
No, we don't.
It's literally just. No, we don't do that here. No,
we don't do that here.
I was just it's just. No, I wasn't. I wasn't gonna do it for anyone else. I was literally just looking. I'm like, I see what everything does, with the exception of Politoed. And if you changed it to something like Blastoise, you would then have the ability of it gets fake out pressure, so you can run Raichu different ways.
I know
it gets Yawn pressure, which I don't think anyone else on this team gets Yawn. So that's really nice.
This tier,
what's it missing?
This team is missing Prankster screens. If this team had Prankster screens, it would go crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Whimsicott gets it, does it not?
No, Whimsicott gets one.
Oh no. Whimsicott gets Light Screen, yeah. Whimsicott gets Light Screen and Charm. It may as well get Reflect.
Okay. I can kind of get the argument, but no. I think this is undoubtedly better than the others. I would say B tier on gut reaction.
Oh, yeah. I was also just going to mention, by the way, I think you're a bit sleeping on, 1, an Amorous, but also 2, Chinchino. Chinchino gets, you have the ability now to run Technician instead of Skill Link, because you can run Loaded Dice. You can run Technician, Loaded Dice, Tail Slap next to Sword of Ruin.
And that is an amazing strategy with Tidy Up and Singles.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that is a there's a mon which, with the exception of ones who resist normal, who lives that hit. It's just a thought. What was we said for B tier? What was the
I would have this low B on gut reaction. I can pull up the tier list.
Slightly above average. If it's going to win, it's going to feel dominant. Yep, I 100% agree with you. This is a B tier team.
Okay, we are on TED. Okay, I put these in order intentionally, so I didn't have to think, and I still sat there thinking about which one to move up. Like,
also
double check.
didn't set
That's
the timer
10,
with
right?
that one, so I didn't set the timer with that one, so I have no clue how long that person was. But oh well, if it was 8 minutes or whatever, so who knows? It felt on time,
It
so
felt on time. We'll take it. Any
hey,
closing
let's
thoughts
switch to
on this?
Koopa.
Mischievous is actually a really good Trick Room setter, that is all.
Yeah, yeah. Switch to Blastoise in free agency.
That's
Do
an
it.
example of a good D tier.
Switch to Blastoise in free agency. Do it.
See, this is... Okay, like, real talk. This is what I mean by good D tiers, though. These are good D tiers.
Yeah.
So, like, we're not just auto-ragging on D tiers, in my opinion.
No.
Okay.
Is this
Cooper?
your turn? Well, no, it's my turn now to talk about this one first.
We kind of don't need to do turns, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Woo! Firewater Grass right off the rip.
Yeah, brilliant Firewater Grass. Then you've got like does Rabombi still get Speed Swap? Is my only question.
I'll double check while you keep talking.
I am checking. Yeah, Yazis, you can check for me because I got the app up and I was checking. Because if Rabombi gets Speed Swap, we're schmoving. We can talk now. But otherwise,
it does not.
Yeah, it does not. Yeah.
It gets Skill Swap. That's
Yeah. It gets Tailwind as well.
It's still a menace of a C tier, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. What's my... Yeah, confused. I might need your help here, because I'm looking at this team going, I don't like it, or no, I don't love it, but I don't know why. Like, I'm looking at them going...
Because I'm looking at this team and I'm
really
loving
good.
It. I think this is the best team we've looked at.
It's really good.
I think this is the best team we've looked at so far.
With the exception of maybe, just maybe, what's Magnezone doing here? But other than that, like, not really.
Oh, I don't even think that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because I think Magnezone is fulfilling a very specific niche, which is, okay, so Enamorus is admittedly kind of following the same niche, which this Enamorus got sniped 3 times, and I think it was the only Enamorus snipe, which is hilarious to me. That, like, Draft C wanted Enamorus and nobody else did. I know both Kid and Seth wanted it.
Yeah.
So that's just funny to me, because I don't think it was taken in any other draft.
No, it wasn't. This is the only Enamorus T taken, and when it got taken, 2 people were upset about it.
Okay, so this is checking all of my mental boxes. It's checking, do I have a fast option out the gate? And I think Rabombi and Iron Treads and Hydreigon are going to count for that. I think that those are immediate threats right out the gate. And then my mind goes to, do we have a way to play around Tailwind and Trick Room? And I say the answer is yes, because I think you have full ways to bulk around it, put it to sleep, or like a Moongus and stalling out Trick Room, pair hand in hand. Like every team that wants to set up Trick Room against this has to have goggles on whatever they're doing, right? And Terra Grasses immediately. Then you have ways to stall out Trick Room, you have ways to stall out Tailwind, so neither of them are very threatening. Then, Incineroar is like the best Mon in VGC for a reason, and paired it with a Moongus, and you're like, and then Rotom Wash. Like, this is such a good core that just goes on any team and will be able to outplay your way out of like every situation. So
I am like I said, I was looking at it and I'm like, what's wrong with this? Is it just that I don't like this style? And it literally is. Like it's literally just if I was given this team and told to make a team, I'd go help, how?
So
I can't let that, like, this team's A tier. It is. It's really good.
This is the best team we've seen so far, in my opinion. This is like A+S in my mind. Also, it has Disquake with Iron Treads Rotom. Maybe there is a bit of overlap with Magnezone here. Because you don't need the extra Electric, you don't need the extra Steel, and you don't need a special Trick Room attacker. So maybe Magnezone is missing a bit of a role on this team.
And so then Magnezone's what, a C tier? You can find really good value in C tier.
Well, Magnezone is very good, though, so I have mixed opinions on Magnezone. What are your thoughts on Medicham as a Mon? Because it's
good.
D tier,
very
and
good.
Does... Like, it's a fake-out D tier for fake-out cycling without an Incineroar, just, like, constantly switching in and causing pressure. And it's got some niches, so I don't hate it.
it's more than that. It's pure power. It's like it's telepathy. He can sit next to iron treads and like then like earthquake himself and have fake out pressure. It's its attack stats what like 50, 60, so it's base 120 attack with close combat and Zen headbutts. Like it's a very good D tier.
So, Crabominable is a budget Trick Room attacker, so I like it for a D tier. Like a very good D tier for this team. What's Basculegion here for?
Does Rabumbi get Rain Dance?
I still have the Rabumbi page open? No. No, it does not. If you hear the boom.
Oh. I have no clue.
You're roboting pretty hard. It sounds like you might have internet. Talk?
Hello?
Okay, I heard that. Okay,
Yeah,
just ignore said anything.
It's all good, it's all good, it's all good.
Electric Week is, I'm gonna say, not super real. I think Rotom Wash alone is kind of covering for that. Iron Treads is covering for that. I don't think that's real. Fire Week, once again, Rotom Wash and the Dragon. Like, I don't think any of these weaknesses are super real either. You have Incineroar and Rotom to swap in on fire. I don't think it's real.
Alright, give it A tier. Move on. That's our time.
Okay. Keeping me honest here. I am willing to move this to S if nothing else is like.
Okay. I'm unsure about that, but we will see.
Yeah, it's because you don't like the style. This is because I love the style of
highest. Put him highest A. Put him above Kistar for sure.
All right, Cooper. I'm there for you.
KD! It's KD's team!
Alright, let's see. What do we got cooked up here? Oh! KD and Mouseape, name a more iconic duo. Even though it's not.
Even
even though it's not.
Oh man, can we not bring that up, please? Move on, quickly.
Okay,
KD and Mouse, and then Primeape. And I did find it funny that after he came back in, after we had the conversation, he took Primeape and then Spectria.
Yo, Spectria or Mousehold is actually the scariest part about this team. I'm gonna be honest. Like, Spectria or Mousehold is, like, as scary as... Like, I honestly think it's scarier than Annihilate Mousehold in current format. If I'm being real, I think it is scarier than Annihilate Mousehold in current format. Ooh boy, Meowstic screens. A bunch of bulky offense mon and Meowstic screens. I feel like I should like this team more, but I don't.
I think this reminds me of his team last season. But, like, the team last season had 4 mons, which would always come, and then you'd pick and pair. I feel like this is always, like... They're all just, like, cool, it's gonna be Mousehold, it's gonna be Dragonite, it's gonna be, like... But then you keep saying it, like, it's gonna be Arcanine, it's gonna be Meowstic, it's gonna be PZ. Oh, wait, now there's 5, and we haven't talked about, like, Spectria or Noivern coming.
Or Empoleon, which is how he's stopping a lot of the Intimidates.
Like... I think it's A tier, like low A tier though, like A B, like on the line of simply because it's a very good draft with like the holes I see are like there are some like type that you're missing in terms of like offense out, and it's also like. There are some types you're just genuinely weak to, and everyone told me last season that didn't matter, and then I told them it does, and I proved it when I beat KD, who had a fairy weakness, with the fairy type, and everyone's like, oh, reason he's not actually fairy weak, because there's Fluttermane and Chiyu, and I'm like, dude, watch this. But, like, I feel like, yeah, it's gonna be...
Okay, I think
9 times out of 10, it's gonna go great.
I think you can have a real weakness that the chart doesn't say. For example, this team is not Ghost Weak, even though it says that it's Ghost Weak here. And that's because you have Mousehold protecting everything, and you have Spectrier to outspeed an Oko Ghost, like, really easily. So this team is not Ghost Weak in the slightest. Now, what I would say is this team is pretty Dragon Weak, because your one switch in being Empoleon... No, Haxorus isn't real. But, like, if you had, like, some faster Mon than Dragonite spamming Draco Meteor, I'm not sure there's a super good way around it. I guess your best way is to hit it faster with a Noivern clicking Draco Meteor, which is a bit more why I'm saying this team feels like it wants to be bulky offense, but it's going to play more like
Go
a Joe.
Fairy Terror on the Spectrier and give it Draining Kiss. Like,
oh yeah, I know. It's a crazy set. Absolutely crazy set. This is the opposite. This is like a style that I should like and I don't care for. Because I like every single Mon listed here.
Mm-hmm.
Although Primeape is not good. It's D tier for a reason. I feel like that's more for the memes. I feel like that's genuinely for the memes more than any other thing.
I think it's genuinely there for the funnies. I can't justify putting it any lower than A, though, because there's nothing wrong with the team at all.
See, my gut is telling me high B.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. So is mine. Mine's telling me this is an extremely high B, so I think we should put it there.
Okay. Like, he has the boxes marked for, like, what do you want on a team. He has all of them, which it's kind of crazy. I mean, let's be real. Against Trick Room, he's going to try to stall out Trick Room with screens. The thing is that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has the natural bulk, the switches, and the Meowstic to make that a thing. Like, that'll be fine. So he can make that work. For Tailwind, he can counter Tailwind, he can E-Speed spam. He's got the options for, like, every type of thing. He's checking the boxes. There's just something in my gut that's holding me back from putting it higher, and I don't know what it is. Now, is this team better than Kistarl's, is the question.
Can we swap back to Kistarl?
Yes. He's the Flutter Chi-Yu.
Yes. No, this Kistarl's team's better than this, 100%. Without a doubt in my mind, Kistarl's team's better than this.
Okay. So you like this team more than his?
I like the team on the screen now more.
Okay, so that is Kistarl's team. So you like Kistarl's team more than KD's team. Because if that is the case, then I'm going to keep Kistarl in A. And I'm going to put KD at, like, the top of B. And in my mind, I think this is a pretty safe pairing between Kistarl and Ted. I like that spot for him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know it's funny because you were just saying...
Flablets.
See, like, this is what I mean, though. We might end up... I could easily see it ending like this, depending on teams, right? With him up to A and Cooper up to S.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm mentally just saving S for someone who I want to be up there alone, and so, like, you know.
Okay, so the only team I know about is Stax, because he talked to me about it. And I know a bit about Stax.
We'll wait for Stax's team when it shows up. Just don't you worry.
I'm not putting it S. I'm putting it A. Okay, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
We can discuss that. We can discuss that when it gets to it.
Okay. Flare Blitz. Right. Flare Blitz.
This is. Oh man. Oh jeez, Rick. Why is it? Wait, can you just check? Was I actually that dumb? Did I put Torracat in the C tier? There's no way.
Yeah, Torracat is C tier, which is even crazier.
Oh my god, I did!
Because Torracat's not on this team.
No, it's because Litten. He picked Litten in D tier, and I was like, why didn't you just take Torracat out of D tier? And everyone's like, because he couldn't. And I'm like, oh, whoops.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Torracat low-key deserves C tier.
Probably.
Alright, keep going.
Confused, I really don't like this team, and I don't know why. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, but... No, it's because, like, offensively, there is nothing wrong with it. And I'm looking, I'm like, no, like, if he wants to, he can do just about anything he wants to, right?
Okay, I can fill it in, because this team is going to live or die based on how this Mimikyu and Ursalunar are played, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, the Dragons, or the Como, Sylveon, Ogerpon, and, I guess there's no Steel.
Iomize.
What?
There is no Steel type, by the way, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess there's no Steel. That's kind of crazy. For screens, we have one screen in Illumise. We do not have Reflect. I think that is the biggest thing this team is missing, is a way to reliably set screens for Komodo and Samurott and Ogerpon to pop off.
No, dude, he's got Litten.
I don't like Typhlosion. I don't like Litten. I mean, Litten's a D tier. It's a mascot. It's gonna get some like fluff just because it's a mascot D tier. I mean, is it a mascot?
Do you mean you don't like Typhlosion in general, or you don't like
I don't like Typhlosion on this team. I think it's all out offensive pressure is overshadowed by Ogerpon, and it's a third ghost type. And I think its roles are being split between Ogerpon and Gengar. Which I love Gengar, by the way. And I think double ghost with Gengar Mimikyu is awesome. But I don't care for Gengar Mimikyu and Typhlosion, especially not when you have Ogerpon covering the fire slot in a godly fire slot.
Yeah. I don't like how weak to Earthquake the team is. Whether like you want to admit it or not, I don't like how weak the team is to Earthquake at all.
Oh no, this team's defensive backbone is non-existent. This team is going to try to... I don't see how you're swapping around with this team. It feels like you're just going to try to position a sweeper well, and once that sweeper is positioned, you're going to try to click.
Yeah.
This team has single-handedly convinced me, by the way, that Scubar is not D tier.
Oh yeah, 100%, without a doubt. Yeah.
Let me really quickly go back to
Via
super
low C, or it's D's here.
I actually think Via Jesus has better wombo combo hyper offense than this team.
I think he does.
Because, like, his fastest mon is Ogerpon and Gengar, and his ways... I mean, he has Prankster Tailwind with Sunny Day. Like, this Illumise pick is, like, the glue. Like, this Illumise pick is why... Okay. No, actually, the Illumise pick is putting this above Via Jesus for me. Because now he has ways to position a sweeper where the sweeper just wins. And, like... You play against getting it. You play around getting an Ursaluna in position. You play around getting an Ogerpon in a good position, or you play around getting a Como in a good position, or Sylveon. Although Sylveon and Blood Moon are both. Sylveon and Blood Moon are both special attacking. Damn, AV go crazy.
Yeah, you said that out loud. Now I was looking at this going, damn, AV go crazy against this team.
Okay. I think this team has the win con of getting a guy in position to win, but I don't like it, and I think it's hard to manage. So
can you swap to Via Jesus's, please?
Sure.
Just to like copy it and like I just want to see. I think. See again, I'm biased because I just love the way that team looks. But go back and I'm just gonna look at the type chart. Go back.
They're like equally offensive.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like Fleblitz's team. Oh, do I? No, I don't. I think you should like Fleblitz's team just a little bit more. I don't.
You're correct. I do like Fleblitz's team a bit more. You're correct.
Okay. Are we in agreement that these are both D tier teams, or?
Yeah, I think this is going to join Flareblitz, in my opinion. And,
or Via Jesus, yeah.
Or, yeah, my bad. Flareblitz is joining Flareblitz.
We can... Yeah, we
Who's
can
better?
leave them in whatever order.
Because we're disagreeing on this, aren't we?
I think it's Via Jesus and you think it's Flareblitz. So we just leave them both down there.
Yep. And, just because I'm the one in control of the monitor, it is like that.
And we switch to stacks. And this part of the video is going to be called Tetris and Confused Yell at each other for 5 minutes.
No. Okay, let me give you my takes.
Yes.
Let me give you my takes.
Yes.
Alright.
This team is S tier and it's not even close.
First off.
This is S tier, it's not even close.
Sand/Alola is garbage. Every other mon on this team is good. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I know, but it doesn't need to...
Okay. This team... Damn AV go crazy. And that is the literal only reason I do not have this as S. Because Zapdos is like the core of this team. That Zapdos is coming every week, and that Zapdos is the most important mon on this team. Um, his speed control is like purely Icy Wind. So that brings me to, does he have the bulk to survive Trick Room, or does he have the bulk to survive Tailwind? And I think the answer is yes.
Stax, Stax doesn't have a Trick Room setup.
No, he does not.
What is bro doing?
I mean, it's not. He doesn't really have a. He doesn't have a Trick Room sweeper either, other than Raging Bolt. But Raging Bolt functions perfectly well.
Raging Bolt wants to be under Trick Room. Oh,
no, Raging Bolt doesn't care. Raging Bolt will hit no matter what. His speed control is not crazy good. But I think the reason I don't think this is S tier is because Zapdos has too many jobs. Zapdos has to somehow be First off, Fast Snarl on an AV Mon, like 6-0s this team. Especially if it can KO Zapdos.
Yeah, it's basically an AV Mon which has the ability to get rid of Zapdos quickly is Raps. The thing is, though, like... that sentence is getting more into the way that Stax plays, and that's not how we're ranking this, and so I'm not gonna... Yeah, like... You're ignoring Crocodile a little bit. You're ignoring, like, Stony J a little bit. And, like, I think that Abomasnow with Grassy Glide is funny.
It is funny. I'll say that. I think the Thwacky, the best part about that Mon is actually how much it supports Golden Go. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it also supports Raging Bolt. It supports these bulky special attackers that want to survive. By the way, this is another team that really wants screens up, and at least he has it with Aurora Veil Bundle. So I'm not going to... Or Aurora Veil Abomasnow. Either or.
My issue with Bundle... Abomasnow I agree with, but I was going to say a Bundle is, like... My issue with running Bundle is I could never find space. Because, like, on an Aurora Veil team, you wanted, like, Aurora Veil, Protect, Encore, and then it was usually Freeze Dry. But then, like...
I ran...
If you've clicked... Yeah, okay, it wasn't... Yeah.
I ran the bulkiest bundle you've ever seen at Portland with Aurora Veil, and it was amazing for me. Like, it was one of the better ones on that team. Like, I'm talking, like, they clicked Earthquake, it took 5%, and I audibly heard people go, what the... Like, across the thing to me. So, bulky bundle with Aurora Veil is a 10 out of 10 Mon. Yeah, no, it's just missing some stuff. It's just really close to being S tier because the Mons are very, very good, and it's a style that I like. It's a style that I like. Also, Fighting Week is not real. You have to Fable for redirection. Fire Week is not real. You have...
Why isn't Fire Week real?
Because you have
like,
Raging
realistically
Bolt.
Is only...
Because Raging Bolt is, like, going to single-handedly be a good switch into any fire move. You have Salazzle and you have Crocodile, both of which can easily switch in and want to be switched in on fire. So I don't think fire is real. The ground is kind of real, but you got Thwacky to a little cover it. That's why I like Thwacky as a D tier here. And the rock is not super real just because Golden Go, and you can, like, Golden Go and Crook, honestly, is, like, kind of enough.
Alright, here's what I want you to do for me. Where you go to the tier list page.
Okay. Because this is cementing one thing in my mind, and
it's
this.
I want you to put Koopa up, and I want you to put Stax at the top of A.
I'm good with that.
I'm
okay with that.
Yeah, I agree with this now. Like, yeah.
Okay, well, your 5 minutes...
I really wanted it.
Your 5 minutes of discussion has very quickly become, seeing my point.
Yeah, The problem was, like, the first point you made was just like, oh, you're so correct. Like, no, the second point, the issue with me isn't the Assault Vest. The Assault Vest is so easy to get around, you have no idea. The issue for me is the team has no speed control. Like, you either have to be running Tailwind, Zapdos Galar, or Bundle has to be on the field clicking Icy Wind, which can miss, and then you have Clear Amulet or Covert Cloak and stuff. It's like, just as an example, how would this team at all stop a Covert Cloak Whimsicott?
It doesn't.
Yeah, like you can't fake it out.
It bulks through the Trick Room, or the Tailwind. That's the entire goal.
Yeah.
And that's a very valid, like, way to beat it, by the way. Like, you just let them get the speed control up, and you just counter it with bulk and priority. Which, with Thunderclap and, like, Golden Go and Raging Bolt, I think that it happens. Especially if he just clicks, Make It Rain into your Tailwind with Whimsicott, and then you are down a Mont. And then he just goes full bulk mode for the next 4 turns.
Alright, we have gone a little bit over time, so we need to swap to Seth.
Okay, I'm putting him top of A, and I've got Cooper up in
him
S.
and S. Yeah, that's exactly where I want them.
Okay, 2 more teams left.
2 more to go. We got 10 minutes, Fox. Maybe a little bit more.
Probably a little bit more.
Probably a little bit more.
We're trying for 5. We've hit more like 6 to 7. It's fine.
Okay. I will start this off with, for some reason, Seth hates this team. Like,
Okay.
I'm from talking to him, like, he said that he's going to be like, it's going to look completely different after free agency. When he says that, I can't see exactly why.
I get it, though. It's because you're looking at this with your combo-y offense brain, and he's looking at this with a balance brain.
No, I'm not looking at my combo offense brain. I'm looking at it through my balance rain brain. And I was like, dude, remember, I wanted those first 4. I wanted Shifu, Archaludon, Comfy Pelipper, and it wasn't to do, like, weakness policy bullshit with Archaludon. It was because those 4, you can run, like, a max HP Urshifu, and it still one-shots everything. Like, I feel like if this team focuses a lot more on what it's good at, not so much what it might not be good at, it'll win every week.
Okay, so this team's got a really interesting spot because it's actually pretty solid in Trick Room. It's not going to want to play Trick Room against other Trick Room teams. Like, its speed control is really good just because of Farigiraf Comfy. And, like, Farigiraf just being on the field is really good. I've got a weird opinion because I never know how to rate Rain. And I think that's the core of my issue. Like, I almost believe...
Sorry?
I don't know how to rate Rain. As, like, a, is it good or is it bad, or, like... I feel like I'm much better at rating the other weathers, and then Rain's the one that always gets me in the end. Because Rain is in this weird spot where I almost feel like it's best to just overwhelm the opponent with more water mons. And that is, like, no other weather is even close to that. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, you want your good steel type that survives because of fire, or because of, removing fire immunity, and Archaludon is, like, the best rain steel. I absolutely love Glamora Moltres, by the way, which is often overlooked. Because, first off, I have a lot of faith in Glamora with missing Meteor Beam, and I love missing Meteor Beam. My favorite button to miss. And Moltres is very good defensively with Glamora. Like, deceptively so. With the only exception being, like, water moves. But, like, all the ground and, like, you know, they're both, like, not care about poison, but, like, mostly ground and water. And not water. What am I saying? Never mind, carry on.
You know, my only question for you here. Is this team better or worse than Crystals?
Than Kistarls. Oh, that's probably the closest team to compare it to, and that's the one that I initially said low A, high B. Flutterchi, Terrakion, Weird Ear, Sneasler.
Because it's exactly where I'm putting it. Because if you just go back before you hit paste, what I'm looking at here is you have Urshifu who always crits. Archaludon is bulky as hell, but people forget that Electro Shot gives you a +1 special attack every time you click it before it hits, and it charges instantly in rain. It's so dumb.
Yeah, Archaludon Comfy is crazy.
Fake Out. He's got Fake Out next to Farigiraf, and then the Fake Out user instantly becomes Guts boosted. Electrode Hisuian, like, it can either be brilliant speed control, or it can run Thunder and Chloroblast with, like, a Life Orb or Specs and just kill everything. And then, like you said, Glamora Moltres is good. Tauros is a brilliant D tier. Like, the only thing I don't like on the team is what, like, Electivire, and I get why it's here. Like, it's here for follow me.
So why aren't you rating the team A or S if you're comparing it to Kistarl? I mean, I
No,
guess we have Kistarl
I'm
and A.
saying I think it's an A tier team. I just wanted to see, is it better than Cristal's? What was all I was looking. I'm like, I think it's middle of the pack A is where I put it.
Okay. First off, I think this team right here, right, is Seth's team is very combo-y actually in the way it wants to play its mons. Like, it has the defensive pivots because it has the natural bulk, but it's like you want Comfy with Arch with Ludon, you want Pelipper with Urshifu, you want Farigiraf with Hariyama. It's very combo-y in its 1-2 kicks. And I don't think that's... I mean, we don't take player skill into account, but I don't like that style as much. I think you actually like it more than I do. I don't care for the, like, 5 different pairs of 2 mons. And I think that's kind of what this team's doing. So, in my book, this is better. Even though I don't like Melodic, Melodic is still value for C tier. Even though I have problems with the Tailwind. Like, this team, like, answers more checkboxes, but it's less of a style I like. So,
yeah. Where do you want to put it?
So, my question isn't, I think Kistarl's is better. My question is this better than KD?
Yes, miles better than KD's team.
You think this is miles better than KD's?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm willing to agree with that. And I think the miles better...
It sits at the bottom of A tier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think Kistarl's is better.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Okay, we really need a team to put with Scubar. Let's see if Kid brought it.
I don't think we do. I don't think we need a team to put with Scuba. Like, it's...
I know, but
you
it'd
can
be
live
funny.
there. It's fine. It would be funny. What a Kid bring!
This is what Kid brought.
This just looks good.
Oh, I love Bronzong so much.
This just looks good.
Did you know that Bronzong gets Psych Up now? Did you know Bronzong also gets Meteor Beam now? These are things you don't need to know, by the way. My favorite button to miss.
Okay.
Okay. He's got Iron Hands with the best fairy resist in the game, and Iron Jugulus is Thievery in B. How did Sandy Shocks get an A and Jugulus got an B?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know.
Alright. Okay. His fastest mon is Ogerpon, but this is a pretty heavy Trick Room team with Iron Hands and Bronzong and Hatterene. Multiple Trick Room centers.
I don't even see it as a Trick Room team. I see it as, like... Because, like, Jugulus can just set Tailwind, and then, like, I know, because I used it this week, Mamoswine can have 12 speed investment, and if you put it under Tailwind, that's enough. Right? Like... I think it's a team which, yes, wants to be in Trick Room most of the time, but don't sleep on, like Jugulus Bramble. There's a reason Brambleghast is here. It's not just because it was the best D tier and it shouldn't have been there to begin with. It's because, like, it's good. I'm very in the middle about this team. Like, I look at it and I go, yeah, it's a good draft team. Yeah.
So,
like my brain just sits super like, yeah, it's slightly above average, you know?
the more I look at it, the more I truly look at it, like, I low-key want to put this as the second best team with Cooper.
I'm not sure I'll let you do that.
Okay, so, hear me out. Trick Room threats? Check. We have Bronzong Iron Hands Hatterene, and as you said, he is not Trick Room reliant in the slightest. It is a good option, and even if he, like, brings out hands with +1 and he just goes offensive and then has a Trick Room in the back, like, he can do it. Tailwind? Check. He's got the best fake-out user in the game in Iron Hands. Iron Hands, by the way, is just a... I know that it wasn't, like, as crazy as a draft pick this season, because it's kind of fallen out of the meta, but it still should have been top 5 in every draft, and I think it just had a old toy syndrome with new toys in the pool. I'm gonna be honest. Because I still think Iron Hands is, like, top 5, like, pick-worthy in my head. Which, the only reason I think it wasn't was new toy, old toy. I am a huge believer in Heatran in draft. Huge believer. Especially when you know that you can tear it pretty reliably. I think Lucario is pretty damn good for a D tier, like Final Gambit and stuff. Girafarig I'm not super sold on. I think its role is overshadowed by both Bronzong and Hatterene.
Is there beat up anymore on this team?
Beat up? Don't see it.
I don't see it either.
But like Lucario was a D tier with just Final Gambit stuff and like Scarf sets and other things. I don't think it needs beat up. I don't even think beat up's good. Even if you get beat up Lucario off, it's still just not good.
Yeah, I agree. I've used it, remember?
Brambleghast into stuff like Torn, like hard walls. Brambleghast is a very value D tier. I'm just throwing that out there. I like that he has a fast Tailwind. I like that he has two fast Tailwinds. Staraptor with Intimidate is insane. The more I look at this, the more I'm arguing for second place. Also, Ogerpon Water is a amazing switch in for Heatran. Like, it covers Heatran defensively beautifully.
Where's the immediate, just instantaneous damage output threat? Like, where is it?
He has an Ogerpon.
Is it...
He has an Ogerpon, he has a Mammoth
Ogerpon and Iron Hands?
Ogerpon, Iron Hands, Mamoswine, Staraptor, even Iron Jugulis and Heatran are all coming out the door swinging if you give them offensive sets.
I like it. It might be the top of A. I'm not sold this is an S tier team. I don't know why.
So,
like
I've convinced you up to A, but I haven't convinced you to S, is what you're saying.
No. You're never going to convince me it's into S, because I wanted to put it above KD's team is where I wanted this.
Okay, you wanted to put it behind Ceph's.
Originally, I wanted to put it behind Ceph, yeah.
Okay.
I could have, yeah.
Because, in my opinion, if we are not putting him up there, which I know this isn't a problem, we'd look like this, theoretically, if we average this out.
Yeah.
Him versus Kistarl is a averaging out issue where you can't give. But because I would put him here, Tetris would put him here.
I think that Ceph's team's better.
I
just think that Ceph's team's better.
Oh, see, here's the thing. This is like maybe a difference in our philosophies. This is so much more combo-y in, like, you have strong pairings.
It's not combo-y. Stop calling it that.
Okay. I don't see the...
TD Kale's team is combo-y. It's Regigigas Weezing, it's Rabscur and Alolan Golem, it's Sceptile and Weezing, it's... What else was on that team? That's combo-y. This isn't combo-y. Putting Urshifu in Rain isn't a combo, it's just a good thing.
Okay, let me put it this way then, because I'm sorry I said it like that.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't actually upset. It was just like...
I know. This team, in my mind, has a much easier time pivoting around than this team does when you are in the middle of a match, in my head. And that is where my bulky offense brain is in love with kids' teams more. Is because I see the immediate pressure and I see the defensive switches that can happen. And I think they are better than this team's defensive switches. Ceph's team might honestly have a little better instant pressure, if I'm being honest. But
that's what I want more. I like not even just because it's combo teams. I like instant pressure, and like I don't know. I know that it's there. Like I know that Iron Hands does it, and I know that Jugulis does it. I know that Wellspring does it, but I just don't see it as much.
Like, what is your response to the teams that are weak to ground that we've seen so far, and him clicking Tailwind with Jugulis with a banded Mamoswine clicking Earthquake? With a Speed Booster Jugulis. Like, that's just gonna fold things if they're not ready for it.
You match Tailwind? Yeah, and I'm just talking because I have Whimsicott, I can just do that, but yeah.
But most people are not outspeeding a Speed Booster Jugulis who's setting Tailwind.
Yeah, no, but you just match Tailwind. You don't have to outspeed Jugulis. You have to outspeed Mamoswine on the Tailwind.
You're assuming that Mammoth Swine doesn't become faster off of the tail when you get the Banded Earthquake off and do the damage.
Yeah, yeah. Get back to the tier list. I think we're just gonna butt heads here. I want it. Put it next to Seth, like placed to the right.
Okay, this is a little
Right, one
more
more.
on your average than my average, but I'm
No,
willing
no,
to
no, no,
sit
no,
it.
no, no. I want. No, we're just gonna like show the audience. I want it to the right of Seth. Thank you. And Confused would like it to the right of Cooper. Right. That's probably just gonna be. Yeah, it would average out to be
Equal to Kiss
somewhere there.
It would average out to be
yeah,
equal to Kiss Starl.
Kiss. Oh, somewhere in there. I think that's us done.
All right.
Cooper's the best, even though I didn't think so before coming into this. Stax is missing Trick Room, and it pains me deeply. Flabberth and Via Jesus have no switch-ins. That one guy needs to get Blastoise instead of Politoed. I forget who it was.
It was Ted.
Ted. I think that's it.
Okay. Any final words?
My final words are, I find it so funny that I have a chance to make top 4 in Draft A, and at the same time, it will be the people like Kid who are way, way, way fucking better than me. The odds are very against them, and I find that hilarious. But the wheel weaves as the wheel wills, and so...
Yep, good luck, Draft C. Welcome to Hellpod, enjoy your stay.
Welcome to hell, enjoy your
Also,
stay.
Hopefully any opinions we had are actually solid, and feel free to argue, because that is fun.
Of course. You'll be heading now into your final portion of this video, where you'll be watching... Where is it? Oh, where did I put the thing even?
Somebody.
Oh, well, you'll be watching Drops and Jordan, or you get the fun people doing Draft D.
Alright, and with that,
Right.
thanks for watching.
And with that, we're done. Bye now. Have a good time. Bye-bye.